So as a reservist, when I was still in, I had to go through anti-extremism training. Okay, so I had to go through anti-extremism training just like everyone in the military did. And I'm sitting in a room and I'm receiving training where I am told, now just listen to this, the person that was speaking was saying that if you are the kind of person who believes in an ideology so much that you would be willing to give your life for that ideology, then you are an extremist. You meet the definition of an extremist, and we should be watching out for those people. And again, I could give a whole lot of examples. I've had chaplain clients that have been through difficult things. I had a Navy client who all he did was have several Bibles that he purchased himself on his shelf in his office. And when someone came in to talk to him, if they ask him about, what's important to him as a leader, what drives him, what motivates him, sort of what's his leadership guidance, he would say, well, there's this book that is instrumental to me in my life and my leadership style, and I have a copy. If you want to take a copy, it's there on the bookshelf, grab one. And it was the Bible. And the Navy tried to not only fired him from his position, but they tried to kick him out over that. And that's just amazing to me, because I have grave concerns, because there will be morality in the military. Yeah. There is a morality that's going to influence the military. It's just a question of what morality that is. Is it going to be the Bible? Is it going to be God's laws? Or is it going to be something else? Is it going to be secular humanism and atheism? And if it's going to be that, then I have grave concerns for what the future of our military looks like.
It's the year 2023, and while it's hard to determine the true number due to secrecy around some such societies, there are over 10,000 cults still operating in the United States alone. Why do people join cults? How does one know if they are indeed part of a cult? How are cults able to garner such loyal followers? Despite news and reports of brainwashing, abuse, and other malpractices, Jim Jones had a hold on the members they just weren't able to shake off. And the People's Temple movement isn't the only one. There's Heaven's Gate, the Branch Davidians led by David Koresh, the Manson family, the Children of God, now known as Family International. Not all cults are religious. Some of these started out as religious or spiritual groups. Some were alternative therapy-based groups, an organization of sorts with varying agendas, different political leanings, groups of people that got too tied up in their own ideas of life, spirituality, world, and death. How are cults different from your regular organizations or groups? They're made up of people committed, almost entirely too committed in fact, to an extreme ideology. What do most cults have in common? A charismatic, radiant leader, a smooth talker with a narcissistic streak. One that appears to understand your innate fears and desires. But here's perhaps the most important structural aspect of a cult. Cults demand a very high level of commitment and adhere to a very clear hierarchy. That is what separates the mass loyal followers from the core group, a distraction of sorts from the inner workings and operations at play. Why are people attracted to cults? Because on the surface, these are often groups that claim to answer your deep burning questions about life. What is happiness? What is life? Is there life after death? How can one find peace? Why did my family abandon me? Why can't I find love? Now you may be wondering, how is that any different from other organized religions? In fact, cultist was a term coined for those who upheld the values of a particular religion, those who maintained scriptures, looked after holy sites. But somewhere during the course of time, it evolved into extreme commitment, devotion that shunned any form of association or critical thinking. But here's perhaps one of the most discerning features. Religion grew over time, it spread across borders, it seeped into a larger society. You can choose to follow any religion. That's where a cult is different. Most of these exclusive clubs and societies separate their members from the rest of the society. They employ various tools of influence and alienation to manipulate its members. So before they even know it, a charismatic leader is now dictating their familial relationships, their finances, what they believe in, and what they consume. Members often don't even realize that these leaders are slowly chipping away at their choice and power until it's too late. Loyal members then go on to recruit other people. Think of it as a pyramid scheme. How are members recruited? Don't be fooled. Cults know exactly what they're doing, and they target often those in desperate search for a sense of belonging. Those who have suffered loss, those who feel lost and unmotivated, those who are looking for acceptance, sometimes even by downright blackmail. Members spend months trying to win the trust of potential recruits. Over 2/3 of people are recruited by a close friend or family member. Now, why are cults allowed to operate? You cannot ban someone from practicing or believing in something. Their rights are often protected under religious freedom laws. So members are either stuck forever or saved by family members, friends, or in some cases are freed as a result of the cult falling apart due to investigations and external pressures. But unfortunately, the members of certain cults such as People's Temple Movement and Heaven's Gate did not get the intervention they needed. And though not always fatal, cults are still harmful, where members often find themselves trapped as a result of cognitive dissonance and are often gaslit and exploited by their often narcissistic and egotistical divine rulers.